and today I wanted to share to you guys a story. It's happened to a foreigner in Vietnam. So first, I have some question. What is your name?
Mohammed,
Uh, where come from?
Nigeria.
I heard that you have been here for a long time, right? So what are you doing here?
I actually came here to teach English.
English.
Yes.
And I know that you got some trouble in Vietnam. So do you mind if you share the story about your problem here?
Well, first of all, before coming here, I know about the English teaching in
Yeah.
Asia, and there were other countries in Asia too, like Cambodia, Thailand,
Mm.
and Vietnam as well.
Yeah.
So I chose Vietnam because I feel like it's kind of friendly and social for
Mm-hmm.
foreigners. So there
Yeah.
are a lot of foreigners here. So I was encouraged to come here. So I made some inquiries online, and I
Mm-hmm.
made some friends online too.
Yeah.
So one of the friends I made online told me a little bit more about it because it's also working here.
Mm-hmm.
So he told me to come, like he really encouraged it that, oh yeah, you just need to get some certification like TEFL, that's a certificate for teaching English and C2 proficiency.
Yeah.
And also one is to have a BSc. So I feel like, okay, I can get all the qualifications, which I already have some. So I put everything together and I started processing coming to Vietnam. So long story short, I came here and I tried applying for jobs online even before coming,
Yeah.
but then it wasn't forthcoming because mostly when you send emails to the Facebook groups and everything, you never really get a response. Sometimes they reply, but they don't say anything further about getting a job. So I had some people talk about you having to pay like agency to get a job because if you don't pay, it's almost impossible to easily get a job if you're not a native speaker. And native speakers are like from America, New Zealand, Australia, and South Africa. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, okay, that makes sense. If I pay for not being a native speaker, I should get an agency that could actually easily get me a job. So I this person I also met online that I thought I trusted introduced me to a guy who is working for the guy is a Nigerian guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's working for a Vietnamese lady. So they said, yeah, you pay if you pay like $400, then they're gonna fix you up with a screw and you start working.
Yeah.
So I made the payment in cash and they told me to wait for some time while they process the work and everything. So I'm like, oh sure, I'm gonna wait. So I waited a couple of weeks. Nothing really came up.
Mm-hmm.
So I told them that I'm really tired of waiting and because my visa is really burning out. I don't really have more time left and I need to get a job before that happens so the work can start processing my work permit. So a couple of days later, after I put a pressure on them, they said, okay, I can go to Thai Bin.
Mm-hmm.
That there's a center in Thai Bin, and they added me to a group, and I communicated with the school that I would come do a demo class to teach. So I went to Thai Bin. The center were like expecting me to come already because the lady
Mm.
that fixes job, the Vietnamese lady, she already spoke with the center that I will be coming today.
Yeah.
So I went there around I got there around 6 o'clock. No, sorry, 5. So I taught for 2 hours from 5 to 7, just like kids within the age of 2, 3. I taught two different classes and it actually went well and I was, excited about starting to work. And the staffs all like me. They were like, oh yeah, we would like you to, be our teacher and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So they gave me a timetable of when I will be coming to teach, and they said Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So I kept the timetable, and they also sent me the teaching schedule, and materials and everything to prepare for the next classes. So I went back to Idong because that was where I was at the moment. So I was like preparing for the next classes and everything. So it was strange to me when I asked the lady that took me to the school, that connected me with the school. I told her about the next time I'll be going there, and I asked her about my salary because no, first I asked the school how much they'll be paying me monthly, and the school were like, no, they can't tell me that I need to go back to the person that brought me, who's like the lady, the agent. So I went to the lady, I asked her, she said she's not gonna tell me. Then I said, there's there's no way I would work without knowing how much I'll be getting paid. So she was like, she's going to pay me whatever amount she feels at the end of the day. Then I said, I don't really feel comfortable with that
Yeah.
because at the end of the month, you might end up paying me just $200 and I need to rent an apartment with my money. Transportation is on me and everything. Because I had stories before about people she got jobs and she doesn't pay them at all.
Mm.
Some people she doesn't pay them 3 months, 4 months. So because the money doesn't, she doesn't let the school pay those people directly. The money kind of goes through her,
Mm.
and she deducts whatever she feels like and gives you the rest, or she doesn't just pay you at all. So I felt like, okay, this is complicated. So she was like, you know what, you can't go back to teaching that school again. And I said, but the center, the school, they already gave me like the teaching materials and timetable, and they're expecting me to come back every week. She said, no, you can go back there. I'll find you another school. So she like set up a new. Same thing happened with another school. You know, I just kept going around without really having a specific school. So long story short, um, I got caught up in between not having a school to like to teach permanently. I was going from a place to another, and there was this center too. I I was referred to by a friend in iPhone, so I went there, and they were like, okay, if I could teach for like some time, they're not gonna pay me. But if they like me, they're going to, after like a month or two, they could keep me as a permanent teacher and they can start paying. So I felt like it wouldn't be convenient, but I tried and I was going there to teach once in a while I was running out of money because I was paying for things I wasn't supposed to pay for,
Mm.
and I wasn't really making money yet. All the money I was spending was the one I brought to Vietnam, so I was running out of money and everything and time because my visa was burning out as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, I see.
Yeah. So even with the first lady, I even spent more than $400 because there were other times she just tells me, "Oh, you need to pay $200 now. I got a new school. It's a good one." After paying four, so I end up giving her money randomly. So it got to a point I kind of ran out of cash,
Yeah.
and things were like really, really getting hard. And I told the lady that got me the job, like the Vietnamese agent, that I need to really get a school that would pay me now. I don't mind how much the salary would be. And she was like, for now there are no schools. Maybe if I could like work in a factory or something. Then I said, a factory, like what kind of job? Because I felt like it's strange, like to just
Yeah,
work
yeah.
in a factory from teaching. She was like, no, it's not hard. You just sit down and you just arrange boxes and yeah, and that's it, and you get paid. I'm like, okay, well, because time is money. I shouldn't just sit while waiting to get a permanent school. Um, so I said, okay, I'll check it out to see. Then I asked her to send me pictures. She said, there are no pictures that a driver would take me there, and I would just see myself. So I had to pay again for that. She said, "No, you have to pay money before you can be taken to the factory." I said, "Why would I need to pay? I already paid for teaching." Then she said, "Yeah, the factory job is a different thing." Then I was really getting bad about, I was feeling bad about the whole thing, but I thought about my time and me running out of money. So I was like, yes, let me do this. So next day after the whole conversation, the driver came, and this time I had like just 3 weeks left on my visa to be burnt out. So we got to the factory. It was still in, um, uh, it was in I4. So we got there, and they were like, I was there for like some days, and I saw some other people too.
Yep.
From different countries, mostly African. So we were there for like some days, and no one took us to work or anything. There was like an apartment we all stayed. They put us, and they were like giving us food and everything.
Okay.
So they said whatever work we do, the money for food and accommodation is going to be deducted. So probably the daily pay would be like 300,000 BNB. So to me, I felt like, okay, I haven't seen the job yet, but then so far I don't need to spend money on accommodation and feeding. I mean, it's a good thing because I was running out of cash. So I started working a day. It was a shift, work, and we just like the first day I was like really, really, really bothered because it was scary.
Yeah.
I've never done this before, and all of a sudden I find myself in this situation. So I just had to like do it. I had to face my fears, and I faced working there for a couple of days and weeks and everything. So when my visa was about to expire, um, I thought, okay, because I worked there continuously close to 3 weeks, and when my visa was close to expiring, I felt like, okay, I really need to exit before it burns out, so I don't get caught up and I don't have to pay for overstay. And so I asked for my money, and I told them I need my money. I need to get the money for the work I did so I can exit because I need the money for transportation and everything because I was really out of cash. So they were like, they can't pay me now. Then I said, you know what? My visa expires soon. So sorry, I can't work further than this. I've really done my best, and this is the best I could do. I need to go back to my country. So maybe later I can come back with a better visa. And then they just kept telling me stories. Okay, wait till next week. Next week comes, they don't pay. Wait till they kept. And then at this point, the last day of my visa, I was like, okay, the worst that could happen if it expires, I pay for overstay. If when they pay my salary, and then I would just pay for overstay and leave. So they just kept posting me days after days, weeks after weeks. They refused to pay, and the whole situation started getting ugly. So sometimes I come down here to Annoy or Goddess here to stay here, and if I have to, sometimes I have classes in iPhone to teach the free class, which I'm not getting
Yeah,
paid
yeah.
for. So I go there sometimes and I teach, and I come back here, and I'm just like, I just don't want to sit doing nothing. So I just had to go around, try to be active. So it's really been a long situation, which puts me in a very uncomfortable position
Yeah.
in life because running out of money and having an expired visa. I mean, the plan was to come to Vietnam to teach English, but then, my mistake was that I did not make sure that I got the job before coming. I
No,
thought I could. Okay.
the problem is, how to say, like, as you know, right?
Yeah.
Vietnam, the economy is now much more developed. And
Much more developed.
yes, right. And we know how important of English. So that's why there's many people starting learning
Yeah,
English,
yeah,
and even for the kids.
yeah,
That's why
true.
nowadays there's many English center
Yeah,
have been open, right?
sure, a
And the
lot.
problem for you is I want to share your story because I don't want any people get the same problem like you.
Yes.
And I think your problem is you trust wrong person,
Yeah,
and you go to how to say like some English center. It's
yeah,
not really trustful, I think.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So and please tell me what do you need to be? I mean, what you need to be an English teacher in Vietnam if you want to sign the contract.
Well, first of all, it all depends on which country you're from, because we have like two categories of English teachers, and those are the native speakers
Yeah.
and the non-native speakers. So the native speakers are citizens of America, London, sorry, United Kingdom,
Mm.
Australia, New Zealand, and also South Africa. So for them, they don't really need much other than having a BSc or probably with a TEFL or TEFL.
Mm-hmm.
But for even they could, I think some native speakers can just do good with just BSc and get a job, and they just apply. They have, they need a CV, probably a demo video, and they just apply online or in person.
Yeah.
So for the non-native speakers, what you need is a CV,
Yeah.
you know, your teaching experience, probably pictures and videos of the previous place you've taught before. You need a TEFL certification or TESOL, 120 hours TEFL certifications, because it has to be a particular numbers of hours of um, teaching experience,
Mm.
and also a C2 proficiency. That is like the speaking and listening. So all these things together is what makes you qualified to be an English teacher. And a BSc also, because without a BSc, Vietnam doesn't really recognize you as a person who is like fit to teach English. They believe you need to have gone through like 4 years of university education.
Mm.
You know, this way they believe you're like knowledgeable enough about basic things. So this is a very important thing. So the BSc, the TEFL, the introduction video, the C2 proficiency, and probably some pictures of previous place of
Mm.
work of teaching. So yes,
Okay. So thank you both for the story.
you're
See you.
welcome. Thank you.
So thank you for listening our story. My name is Alan. I'm from Anniego .vm. Please visit our website to get our contact. If you have any question, any information you need, please contact to us. Thank you.